Hey folks, my name is Tom Vassell. This is Week in Review. In Week in Review, what we do here is we take a look at all the games that we reviewed last week, and we give you short summaries of those reviews, and then you can decide if you want to go back and watch the full review and find out more details about that. So let's get started.
Hey folks, welcome back to another Week in Review. I was able to do 3 reviews for you this week after Essen closed out, and I was able to do one for the new game from White Wizard Games called Hero Realms. This is the long-awaited successor to Star Realms that I've been itching to get my fingers on, and finally was able to do it. I really enjoy the character packs that are coming with this one that gives each player a different feel for the game, a special starting deck. I really enjoyed how they did that. Check out my review for more of the details there, but really cool. Very happy with Hero Realms. The next one I was able to do is a game called Carcassonne Amazonas. Now, Carcassonne Amazonas is Carcassonne is one of my wife's favorite games to play, so that's one of the reasons why I was up on getting the review done for this one. And I really enjoy the fact that they have just stayed with that core mechanism of tile laying and matching up the sides and scoring points different ways by placing your meeples on there. But here they throw in a racing mechanic as your boats are racing down the Amazon River, and I really enjoyed that. You can score a lot of points doing that, so great addition to the Around the World line for Carcassonne, so go check that one out. And I was also able to do a lesser-known game called Ominoes from Yay Games. And this is a quirky little abstract strategy game, and I say quirky is because there's actually dice rolling in it, and that's what really kind of brought it to the forefront for me. I love dice rolling, and I'm not really a fan of abstract strategy to an extent, so I usually like the lighter fare of abstract strategy games. This one hits on all pistons as far as that is concerned. I love the dice rolling aspect of it, and I love that it is actually a light game. It's not very brain burning, but it is also fun, and it's over relatively quickly as well. So go check that review out, Ominoes from Yay Games, and that's it. We'll see you guys on the flip side.
Hey everybody, Z Garcia here. This week we put out a new Blender episode called Science and Technology. Go check that out. Lots of cool segments in there. And I also reviewed 3 things. Here we go. I reviewed Pandemic the Cure Experimental Meds, which is an expansion to the dice game, Pandemic the Cure. And in it you are going to get lots of new characters, lots of new events, as well as 2 different challenges, which are both very excellent, and the characters and everything else is very cool. My only complaint was that this box is ridiculously large for what comes in here. But other than that, one I very much recommend, especially to fans of the original. This is a no-brainer. Go get this. I reviewed Jolly and Roger, a 2-player card game with a very interesting I split you choose mechanism in which you are trying to control different ships on the board. Quick, light, simple, but not brain dead. This has very interesting choices right from the get-go, and I liked it a lot. One that has, for the amount of rules that are in it, lots of depth. So very happy with that. And then finally, more Pandemic love. I reviewed Pandemic Iberia, which is a variant sort of the original Pandemic, historically themed, set in the mid-1800s in the Iberian Peninsula, of course. And this is very, very good. It really utilizes its theme. It really does a smart job of putting you in the time and place in which it is set. And it is a gorgeous game to boot. So very, very good. If you are someone who enjoys Pandemic at all, definitely I would say check this one out. However, if you did not like Pandemic, I don't think this is going to change your mind. It's fairly close to that. So there you have it. That's it for me, and I will see you next time.
Well, huzzah and hooray. While last week I had quite a few games I did not like, this week I liked every game I reviewed. Doesn't happen very often, but here we go. Lex and Lemniscate. This is a very, very thinky abstract strategy game where you're trying to place things down, and there's this placement trying to find a pattern between yellows and blue. It's kind of a cool game. It has a very limited audience, I think, but the people who like it are really going to enjoy it. Go Cuckoo. This is a dexterity game that looks like Hoppa is aiming it at children, and yet every child I played it with has felt that it is too difficult. It is more like an adult's party dexterity stacking game. It's where you're sticking sticks in and making a nest and not to make the eggs fall down. It is pretty impressive looking. Hanna Honeybee. This is a very small game for kids where you drop flowers in and honey comes out. For the little tykes, it is excellent. Rubik's Race. This is not a new game, really. There's a new version of the game where you're going to shuffle things around in the middle and try to get a 4x4 grid. It's a 3x3 grid that looks like the side of a Rubik's Cube, but you shake it up with this cool little device. It's a decent two-player race of sliding things around. I Spy Eagle Eye. I love I Spy books. Love opening those books and trying to find things. This is what this game does. Each person has a card, and on that card, one thing matches a big sheet. They have to find that thing before other people do. A cool concept, lots of cool little toys on it. Perfumer. This is the first game that I've played where the sense of smell was critical to the game. That's right. In this game, you actually are smelling things, smelling different perfumes, trying to match them up, trying to figure out which perfumes are which. The actual smelling and finding perfumes is the best part of the game. It's kind of a logic puzzle using your nose. The rest of the game is okay, but it's certainly a very unique experience and one I think people should at least give a try to. Islebound. Now, note in my review, I said there was one niggling thing about this game I did not like, which was the combat. That was actually incorrect. My view of the combat is better than I thought, so that's great. And so Islebound is just, I think, probably the best game Ryan Lockett has done so far. Not very unique. You're just moving around doing actions and stuff, but it just all comes together in a really good way, and of course, with all his games, has a really nice visual appeal to it. Great Western Trail. Wow, the people in my group who like this game are loving it. At our game day yesterday, constant play all day long. But this is a deep, heavy Euro game in which you are taking cattle and taking them over to Kansas City and then shipping them to other cities. There's deck building, there's action selection, but it's a pretty simple game that has many, many, many different choices, lots of different things. It's a very solid game. Jason and I took a look at that one. We also took a look at Adrenaline, which is a shoot-'em-up game, but it's also a area control game. In fact, it's more area control than shoot-'em-up. It's like area control with a shoot-'em-up theme. So first-person shooter theme, really well done. Not very heavy, easygoing and light to some degree, but offers a lot of choices and is simply just capital F-U-N. Then we have, I took a look at both the second editions of both Dominion and Dominion Intrigue. Both of these editions added 7 new cards and took out 6 cards from the original game, which I thought I'd be annoyed about, but the fact is the cards they took out aren't that big of a deal, and the cards they added are pretty fun. They also made the cards look better, made the text easier to read. The whole thing is just a much nicer product, and if you have the originals and don't want to get rid of them, you can simply buy upgrade packs with the new cards. That's a win-win for me from Rio Grande. And then the just really cool Pyramids Arcade, which, as you can see, Pyramid Arcade is already on my shelf here. This is a box full of pyramids from Looney Labs. 20 games. This is an excellent, amazing product in a box. There's so much going on in here. Lots of different games. It looks beautiful. The games are all very different. This is one of those things I think is essential for anyone's game collection, really, because there's just so much stuff in that box and so many variations and more games in the internet. It looks visually stunning. It is really, really impressive. That's Pyramid Arcade. So those are the games that we took a look at last week. Many more reviews coming your way this week. Until next time, I'm Tom Vassell, and this has been Week in Review.